Welcoming you back to crypto's juiciest news, baby dolls. If you want to know what's happening, don't even bother asking, my friends. We're looking at a Bitcoin price at around 93,000 American dollars. Let's go check it out right here. We're still holding the structure. This is lovely to see. We are above this yellow magical line. What else is there to really think about? Friends, when we're looking at a green monthly candle, good things happen. That's all you need to know. We're going to move into the next few months. It's going to get very critical, actually. I've checked out some BCB and some other people's opinions, and they are just opinions and squiggly lines. Everyone pretty much thinks it's over soon. Isn't that funny when we go and have a look at it like that? This is the Ethereum chart right here. Ethereum, friends, hopefully can finish green for the month, but we had like 5 red monthly candles. This might go and finish off green and make it friendship for us, but we still need to recover a whole big part of the move. I've got some big bottoming news for Ethereum. Like Davey Soy Hoffman, friends, is no longer in Ethereum maxi. Man, I've got some cracker news here to go through with you. So if you check it out, friends, Bitcoin is still a blue emoji, 93K. Ethereum is still the tulip. I do round it down. So if you want to know, friends, even when Ethereum is literally $1,799 on my screen, I round it down to $1,700 because it's a piece of turd, and that's exactly what it is. Now, if you come and check out the Pulse Chain Core Coins, having a look here, we can actually activate as well some SOMI mode somewhere, which is right here, giving you some secret access. There's nothing else really to look at or worry about, friends, because you need some big moves out here. We need Ethereum pretty much. It's got to go and thrust up above that CME gap, which is at $2,600. And there's another one at $3,200 as well. On the weekly charts, though, we're looking really good, aren't we? Out here, this is the Bitcoin price chart. So what I've seen from blockchain backer, friends, I've got some very lovely screenshots here to go through with you. Pretty much, I think everyone's just expecting some sort of jittery action where we kind of don't go anywhere for the time until we're pretty much going to start, I guess, to send towards May. On the positive side with macro, actually, as well, friends, I want to add this. This is the daily chart of the S&P 500. It's doing this very nice bottoming pattern. It's kind of done this higher-low pattern, and we're ready to go up. But still, doesn't mean we're really out of the woods. You know, it's the S&P 500, okay? You turn your back on it, and then bad things happen. So we'll see what happens when it comes to all of those. Let's crack on with this, friends. Look at this. Davey Soy Hoffman is no longer an Ethereum maxi. The bottom is officially in for the ETH Bitcoin ratio. Now, I've called the bottom like 15,000 times. That's why it's a joke. But I'm actually going to show you his tweets. Actually very surprising. I did not expect to see that. Check it out. I believe in the Ethereum project and have found a renewed interest in supporting it. But my days of maximalism are gone. It's a detrimental strategy. Ideologically, that word, I want Ethereum to win. And the best strategy to achieve this is rational pragmatism. I am an Ethereum realist. So, I mean, like, no one cares, bro. It's kind of like, I am this, I am that. Let's play some Pumpy G music for that. It is funny to think about. The Ethereum maxis, friends, I think they're done. I think they're finally done. Because you know what they're thinking about? They're thinking about, man, if I just didn't go all in on ETH, I wouldn't be down this bad. I'd have some Bitcoin, maybe some soy, maybe some other stuff out here. That's what they're going to say. But this is like, friends, just like XRP in the third cycle. So they finally realized, oh, something's wrong here, but it's at the bottoms, bro. Like now this is the time to go all in. It's literally time to be like, you shouldn't, like if you weren't an Ethereum maxi before, now's actually time to be an Ethereum maxi. Like, oh, everyone literally is giving you a 0% probability of succeeding ever again. Which is funny. Actually, he was replying to this message from Simon. If you're a Bitcoin, ETH, or Sol maxi, you're an idiot. Maximalism isn't conviction, etc. So friends, during these times, people just say a lot of stuff, okay? People who are diversified, they go, oh, you're an idiot. People who are all in on one thing and it works, they go, oh, I'm a genius, okay? But everyone's going to have to find their own way, and that's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to find edge and alpha in the market. And yeah, I've got some other things to go through. What I'm going to do now, friends, I'm going to show you some interesting charts. So this is customs duties hit all-time high. So the Trump tariffs have started to hit higher price levels. But honestly, this is a pretty poopy number. It's like, oh, wow, 15 or 16 billion for the month collected. This is absolutely nothing, guys. I think they collect about like $80 billion per year or something. Something ridiculous. Something ridiculously low from tariffs. It's like, it's tiny. It is like absolutely tiny. Like you're going to have to 10x that. But you can't, man. If you make something just, oh, I'm going to put 10x more tariff on something, people are going to find advantages out here. And as well, different countries, friends, they're going to be secretly trading maple syrup. So if you try to charge me $48 for maple syrup, I'm going to find maybe an illegal drug dealer who's selling illegal maple syrups, and they're going to maybe give it to me for like $20. That's what ends up happening. That's actually what happens with the oil trade and stuff. Well, when a country gets banned, like Russia, I think what ends up happening is to sell oil, they give it to like India, and then India just take a 10% premium on someone else. They just find another route. So it's kind of amazing how the market reorganizes itself out here. I've got some wonderful blockchain backer screenshots here, friends, which is actually pretty cool. Now, what we are doing, this is Bitcoin, right? This is Bitcoin. On the far left one is Bitcoin today. And then number 2, 3, and 4 is similar chart patterns from Bitcoin in the past where it's reversed up. You see the yellow circle line. There's always this, the yellow circle. There's always this ABC area where I'll just show you pretty much where you just have like these little jitters, you know, where you just kind of like, you screw around and then you just basically like, and before you pop up, okay? Do that. So where we are today, we're expecting something like that as well. You just don't know how deep the pullback's going to be. You know, some people believe it's going to be like really deep, right? Some people believe it's really deep. Some people believe it'll be like really shallow. Okay, some people think it's going to like shoot up even more and come back down, whatever it is. That's pretty much what we're locked into. So I hope that actually plays out for the next, I guess, 6 or 7 days. And then we move into the month of May, which is going to have more kindness and friendship. So that's pretty much it. Before we actually have, and you actually look back again, there is an exciting up part, isn't there? That's lovely to see. The exciting up part, very, very uppity. That's wonderful to see. We're moving up there, but ain't so wonderful when you think about it, friends, because actually, let's play some angel music. He says it's all over after that point. And you go, oh, but that's okay. I'm going to get my 40,000x, right? No, you're not. Bitcoin hits around 120 to 130K, and then it's all over for the cycle, according to these people as well. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I've got another chart here for you. This is going to be lovely to see. This is, friends, now we're going to look at, this is Bitcoin on the top. This was its 2016, 2017 cycle, how it just started curling up. And it had, if you want to know, these areas, these are China banning. So this is map banning Bitcoin again for like the 15th time back then, and then it went up anyway. The bottom is the total 3 market cap. So it excludes, so removes Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's pretty much just altcoins, right? It's like others, but it's got the stable coins, the cuck stable coins in here. So we're expecting it to do some reversal up, which is kind of like, you know this, but we're like, oh yeah, coins are going to go up. Oh, sure. But I think the numbers ain't that pretty, man, because do you see this number, friends? We're about 800 billion market cap. I think he has it peaking at like 2.6 trillion. And that's the highest Fibonacci extension. And you're like, oh, that sounds like a big number. Chill out. That's a 3x from here. So all the altcoins do a 3 from here. And you're in like a cool altcoin that has maybe a 2 multiplier on that. That's just a 6x, man. That's poop. That's poop. If you're an amazing altcoin, maybe you do like a 3 times that. 3 times 2 is not from here, but you're already down 70%. So I don't know how they're going to resolve that for itself. Look, if you were to make me a guess, friends, look, I'm just guessing. I don't know anything, but maybe we get there and it's not over. We get there and then we rinse everybody out for 6 months. Everybody thinks it's a bear market, and then we actually have another leg up next year. That would make it the believers cycle. That's what we're thinking about here. I'm going to show you more of that chart as well. Moving on, check this out. This is what you're seeing out here. So this is, see that Bitcoin price chart? See how it comes up here? Actually, it's funny, friends. In that previous cycle, look at this on the left-hand side. It actually comes and it does hit the 4.236 extension, and then it squiggles around and it goes up for another leg again. Okay, but I think Blockchain Backer is not convinced that we're going to get that. Okay, so he's convinced this is just going to hit up to this 4.236 extension up here, and then it's pretty much over. Now, why does he say that? Well, because of the stock market being super high
valuations. We haven't had like a proper recession since 2008. I guess because they don't count the zombie virus, right? That's their opinion as well. Because there's like a lot of the tech bubble, the Fantastic Four, whatever they're called, exhibiting those rotational tops. Also business they're all pretty much, it's the Russell 2000 being weak because of the business ISM. I think the flash manufacturing, thank you to Baby Doll told me, it came out like 50.7, which is like, I think it's like a super early one, but still you need it above 52. Okay, so it's pretty much, the numbers are pretty low when we're looking at it out here. So obviously you don't know what happens, friends, and like, but why would it all be over from there? I don't know, man. Like, that's what you don't know what bad news would come around the corner. Something happens, recession, world war event. Hopefully it's not any of those, by the way, but like with gold cranking up, makes you do think about that. Yeah, and it makes everyone scared as well, to make everyone think, oh, well, it could be all over, but you don't know that, man. You don't know that. How do you all know that? No one knows that. But I'm just going to be honest, like I'm just showing you, yeah, it's scary that how high the stock market is, but man, here's the thing, friends. We have the money printer, man. So if you want to know, how did they get through this before? Well, they did not do QE to this extent. They just cut interest rates, and they cut interest rates and they let the economy kind of figure stuff out, and that's pretty much what happened in each recession, and they last like 6 to 12 months. The difference is Satoshi made Bitcoin in 2008. Yeah? So we've never had a full-blown worldwide massive recession. We've only had the zombie virus. We had some slowdowns. The 2022 slowdown, right? But we didn't have a full-on unemployment spikes to like 7, 8, 9% and stays there for like 12 months. We have not had that. We've had the spike up from the zombie virus, but that was transitory, right? So that's the difference now. The difference now is we have a lot of debt, which you didn't have before. The debt to GDP is high, and everybody runs for the money printer straight away to fix all the problems. That's the difference now. So we don't know how that's going to play out, right? Because if the economy's in a recession, friends, and there's jobs that are really, really like poopy, well, you get the money printer out. That's what they do every time. They have to do that. I mean, look at even Donald Trump's trying to play strongman, and then they dump the bonds on him. I also found out, friends, I think Warren Buffett owns 4.6% of US bonds, which I can't believe. One dude, 4.6%. That's like a giant whale. He's like double Michael Saylor before the US government. My gosh. Wow, that's insane. So he just collects the yield. So what's he going to do when the time is right? I guess, if he's still alive, honestly, if he's still alive, he will be selling those bonds and he'll be buying the dip in a lot of the big stock market. But here's the thing, friends, like we have the money printer, and I know the money printer doesn't fix everything because the money printer can only work if inflation ain't like out of control. So pretty much, this is another way to look at it. You can only do the money printer if you're covering a negative GDP gap, okay? But if you're covering the gap and people are taking your currency units that you're printing and going and spending on literally anything else, like gold or like crypto, then you completely defeat the purpose. You're literally handing currency units to people leaving the building, okay? But it's very unlikely that happen, but you never say never, all right? So that's the only, that's why there's a caveat with this. You can't just print and do all these things forever, right? Also, America can only print, friends, so long as they have US dollar dominance, okay? That's another thing as well. As long as they have US dollar dominance, yes, there'll be a bid on the US dollar, but then you get to see recently, right, Donald Trump trying to be strongman, like I said, with Mr. Japan, and then they were dumping the bonds, so we'll see how it plays out. Also, I wanted to give you a quick update as well. So Arthur Hayes, friends, I watched his recent interview. They're going to have to print as you expected. And pretty much, like, they're going to have to print. They have to print. There's $9 trillion to roll over. But they're not going to probably call it QE. He goes, just look at their actions. You're going to have to open your mind about what you think QE is. It's not them going, QE, money printer. It's going to be some sort of new meme. All right. Let me show you some other charts as well coming out here. So this is, friends, kind of what we expect right now. On the left is Bitcoin right now. See this like A, B, C, D before we shoot up. This is similar to what it actually does in the past. But here's the scary part. You see in the top right how it just goes up and then it comes back down. Well, this number equivalent on this chart would be about 130K. It would be somewhere between around 130K for Bitcoin, and you expect some sort of big U-turn thing. But you never know, friends. Like, what if Bitcoin does go to this 130, and then it does do that, and it scares everyone back at 90, and everyone thinks it's over. Everyone thinks the bear market's starting, but then Bitcoin does continue up later on and becomes the believer's cycle. But you got to be careful, man, because we don't know. We literally don't know. It's complete unknowns. Fading the 4-year cycle, we know, has been the widowmaker, but, big but, okay? What are you actually fading at that point? Like, fading their money printer, yeah? When they do the money printing, hopefully we get to find out this exact time period, how long it lasts for. It's about 12 months, though. A nice round number, 12 months. Remember, we had the zombie virus in March 2020. They did the money printer April 2020, and then it went from April to April, pretty much. Yeah, and we actually had 2 Altseasons in that. We had DeFi season, right, which no one counted as Altseason. but it was 5 green monthly others BTC candles in a row. I think it was 6 actually. And then we had the actual traditional alt season wave 1. And then there was a follow-on effect of alt season wave 2. So hopefully I've got my chart here just to load here. Maybe I can show it to you. Actually, I do right now. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. So this is it, friends. So they printed, look at this. You had 6 green monthly candles here. Didn't look like it, did you? But that was it. So you pretty much, the way I see it is you had half an alt season here. You had a full alt season here. You had half an alt season here. That makes it like 2. Okay, it's very disjointed. Very, very scammy, cursey. Right now, we've had nothing, bro. We had 5 red. We've actually had like a bear market. Like, look, I know this is sound controversial once again. Wearing a bull hat. No. Man, altcoins must have the most diamond hand, strongest holders of all time right now. You've had multiple bear markets within a bear market, within a bear market, within a curse, within a bear market, within everything in altcoins. Okay, it's almost like, man, I'm telling you now, man, I know this sounds, what I'm about to say sounds really stupid and silly and whatever, but just remove the ticker, remove the label, remove the name. What I'm saying is, I won't be surprised if we literally just see the most unexplainable turbo strength of altcoins as Bitcoin is weak from here on. I will not be surprised because you've just literally rinsed absolutely everybody out. I also want to show you this as we crack on as well, friends. More charts here. Hope you're enjoying it, by the way. Make sure you like, subscribe. So on the left-hand side, this is more of that Bitcoin price chart where we are right now. And the right is where we think, I guess where blockchain backer thinks we're going to get. See, this is pretty much it. You see this right-hand side? I'll actually show you right now so we can just, which you see it in a very family-friendly way. I'll now show it to you. Here we go. Right there. Right there. There we go, friends. So I think what he's saying is we're like here. We are like here. That's that little part. And what he thinks is the big part comes next, where it's about to be all over. Okay. Actually, now that I think about it, I think he's saying we're actually more like here. We are actually more like there. Let me just show that to you in a very nice, clean format. So he's saying we might be like here. Right here, this is our Bitcoin, and we're coming for like one last push, and then he's saying like it's all over, and we come for a big step. Man, it's going to be scary if that happens, but just, man, once again, man, it's the business ISM. Like, I know it's just like, it can be extended pooper, but we haven't had a bull cycle, bro. We haven't. I don't care what anyone says, we haven't. Business ISM has never hit above 50, but it's been like 29 months. Now it's going to be month 30. It's literally going to be month 30. Like, I know everyone's got their own opinions, just being like, we know what business cycles, man. You have business ISM, it goes above 52, it hits 53, 54, 55 minimum. Okay, you can hit 55 and then it'll be all done. But some of them, we hit 60 in one of them, in our last one. But, it's got to hit like 44, 54, 55. It just hasn't done that. Either way, blockchain backer, if you're XRP, he's selling up here. This is around an $8 XRP. And actually, this arrow is when he got in. I think he started accumulating, whatever, end of in 2019, 30 cents. He's been waiting this whole time. Or maybe he didn't start accumulating there. Maybe he's just been like waiting for it the whole time. But that's pretty much it. This highest extension up here. So you can see that like even XRP and everything out here, these long-term targets. If we do get there, it's not going to be like it's there. Everyone's like sad or anything. It's going to be like complete blown euphoria. As well, more charts. This is Bitcoin dominance, friends. Bitcoin dominance literally has been going up only. Up. But you see all these levels. Well, what happens, this is in markets, right? When they do vertical ascensions like this, when they finally do turn around, there's literally nothing. Bang, 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 bang. There's literally nothing. There's just no levels on the way down. No levels on the way down. And then there is some sort of like screw around, but then it comes back down for it later on as well. So that's pretty much Bitcoin dominance. What's it going to take though? I don't know. Maybe some like big, epic Ethereum reversal. There's going to be some news catalyst that people dress up and stuff as well. But that's what it's going to have to take. It all comes down to Ethereum. Once again, always the Ethereum. I've actually got a similar chart there for you, just so you can see what it looks like. This is a very, very common chart. So this is not Bitcoin dominance, this is the Dow Jones. The Dow. See, friends, the Dow Jones goes up and up and up and up and up and up. And then look, when it rotates down, bang, just comes back through all the levels down here. So that's what we're expecting Bitcoin dominance to do. It might happen very fast. We'll see. May, June, July. It's going to be a tough one, man, because we have not had, like, it just depends how much you believe. Like, are you going to wait for 5 or 6 green monthly candles for others BTC? You know, friends, if we go up in May, June, July, that's only 3 months. Do you think it's all over at that point? Many people will. They will, friends. All the big KOLs, they're planning to sell anyway. Okay, so we'll see how we go with that. Remember, Davey Soy Huffman fans no longer an Ethereum maxi. There could be one of those, universe signals out here. But then again, we've tried to call the bottom like 15,000 times on this stuff. So who the hell cares? China says it has not had any trade negotiations with the USA, contradicting President Trump's claims. That was funny when that came out. I actually got another one. They actually did meet up. But it's kind of funny. Just see, friends, all these back and forth. Hey, we never met. Oh, wait, yes, we did. And friends, it's kind of like it. For all we know, Trump literally spoke to one Chinese dude. Probably the takeaway dude. He's literally ordering some nice honey chicken, some Mongolian lamb. And he's like, yeah, I spoke to the Chinese dude. I want to put it past him as well. Coinbase expands partnership with PayPal to advance stablecoin payments. Sami has been starting and stating the term stablecoin SuperCycle for months now, confirmed. So stablecoin SuperCycle, I've been talking about that. It is a stablecoin SuperCycle. You can see the meme coin SuperCycle for the extreme part of the risk, and then stablecoin SuperCycle. It just feels like that's what's happening. Everyone's releasing a stablecoin. Everyone wants a piece of Tether because, like, the other bigger market caps is Bitcoin, store of value. No one bothers with that anymore because Bitcoin's pretty much like, one, it's got all the adoption stuff out here. Not counting the hex stuff. I mean, like, these bigger companies like, oh, let's all go make a stablecoin or a store of value. Not a good idea, right? You also have Ethereum, the layer 1 chain. Everyone's still trying to compete with aspects like that. But the next big piece of the pie is Tether, which is literally just a cuck stablecoin, a cuck buck, where, yes, they just take your money, they get yield, they dump the yield, then you get nothing. They give you the middle finger. How long are people going to continue that for? We'll see. The CME group, the Cuck Mercantile Exchange, are going to launch XRP futures on May 19th. Very surprising, friends. Like, it's crazy. Ripple are able to come in and dump their yield for like 12 years and actually make it. So if Ripple can do it, anyone can do it. It's true. Yes, Ripple, friends, obviously very, very controversial because they just mint their own token and dump. But, like, it is what it is. They got a community. You know what? If the community likes slower tech or whatever, let them be. They're just going to copy paste everything anyway, just like they have. And everything's going to be pretty much open source. So, in some more cracker news as well, friends, $5 trillion asset manager Fidelity says Bitcoin supply on exchanges is dropping due to the public company purchases. So, we're going to see more FOMO from these Bitcoin buyers, but, like, I don't believe them, friends. I don't care that they're institutions. I'm telling you they're weak hands. I promise you on both of my nipples, they are weak hands. They're not as strong as you think. Yes, they're sucking off Michael Saylor and like, yes, Bitcoin, Cybernetic, friends, they're full of crap. I promise you they're full of crap. They are full of poop. They are weak hands, okay? When the Bitcoin dominance goes down, I freaking guarantee you they're going to start talking about words like yield, crypto applications, diversifying in the crypto ecosystems. They're going to use other words. They're not going to just use Bitcoin. They're going to use cryptocurrency industry. Trust me, they're going to do that. They're all full of crap. They're just in Bitcoin because it went up only. They're just in Bitcoin because Bitcoin dominance has gone up only. I promise you. It's the 4th green year so far of Bitcoin dominance. The 4th green year in a row. Bang, 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 bang. You have the weakest of weak hands up there. Just like in altcoins, you have the strongest of hands now. You've had red over others BTC, okay? US tariff revenue rises 60% to 15 billion a month, which we saw. We also have, friends, President Trump says he had a meeting with China this morning. The Federal Reserve withdraws its crypto activity reporting requirement for the banks as well. So you're seeing all the news and stuff, everything come together. But yeah, I guess the next phase, friends. Remember, I meant, like, I'll be honest, I'm feeling this next phase, this May, June, July, if there's a thrust up, when there's a thrust up, I've got a feeling it's not over after that point. But I'm going to give it like 25% chance it's over. But I think it's still 20, maybe just 20. I don't think a believer's cycle ends early, bro. I don't think so, friends. I just don't think so. It's a believer's cycle, dude. It's a believer's cycle. You have the strongest of strongest altcoin holders now. You have the weakest of Bitcoin holders. That can only mean you have to have 2 gargantuan Altseasons. You have to. Now, you don't really have to. I'm just making stuff up. But like, just think about it, man. There's like there has to be some sort of switch. We'll see that all play out whenever the time comes. But yeah, everyone's gonna say, oh, it's all about the stock market. Yeah, bro, what stock market, bro? Who runs the stock market? The US Fed and the government. What do they do? Print money. It is what it is. This is the Bitcoin price chart, 93.94. Maybe we're gonna zip around. We need that global liquidity thing to keep rising, which it is. So don't forget who loves and appreciates you, friends. Like, subscribe, Billy Button, all. Catch you in the next one.